Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, will deliver a brief statement ahead of this afternoon's General Assembly session. He will take your questions afterwards. If you do have a question, please remember to state your name and your news outlet. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First, I must address the recovery of the body of Itai Savirsky a few hours ago, who was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists on October 7 and died in captivity. While we again attend the UN circus surrounding the so-called question of Palestine, Israel remains focused on returning the hostages back to their loved ones and delivering justice to the monsters who torment them. You know, every year we meet here and we hear the same debates, villainizing Israel and not talking about the main issues, because the Assembly refuses to confront the truth. 77 years ago, the UN proposed a partition plan. We said yes, the Arab world said no. They rejected coexistence and instead declared war on the newborn Jewish state. Since then, the UN and many of its member states have helped sustain the rejectionism for decades. The General Assembly and its member states have encouraged rejectionism, and they fueled incitement and provided platforms for hatred and violence. Today in the General Assembly, I will be providing examples of how the PA and UNRWA educated hatred and glorified terrorists. I saw a tweet from UNRWA a few minutes ago that they are actually worried about their reputation. Well, it's too late. They should have been taking action against Hamas a while ago. They shouldn't have allowed UNRWA to infiltrate by Hamas. And today, when they care about the reputation, I tell them it's too little, it's too late. We will not cooperate with UNRWA. Israel will always be committed to peace, but the UN must not be mistaken. We will never waver in our determination to defend our people, protect our future, and bring all of our hostages back home. Thank you.
Ambassador, the Secretary General today tweeted, or yesterday I think, I'm not sure, amid the gigantic humanitarian needs in Gaza, aid is outrageously being blocked. The nightmare is not a crisis of logistics, it's a crisis of political will and of respect for fundamental principles of international law. Do you think the problem is logistics, or is it the problem of political will? And I believe he meant on behalf of
Well,
Israel.
I saw that tweet of the Secretary General yesterday, I believe, and I think what is outrageous that we have 100 hostages in the hands of Hamas. I haven't heard him speaking about it lately, and I think we all know that we are not limiting the amount of aid coming into Gaza, period. No limitations on the checkpoints. The problem is what happens after that. How you deliver the aid to different locations in Gaza. We are working with international organizations. We are trying to support them, but we have to admit it. You know, it's hard. You have gangs. You have Hamas looting the convoys. So there are many, many issues that the Secretary General forgot to mention.
And also, there's an exhibition at the entrance of the UN today. Your comment?
Well, that's part of the circus, and I will speak about it in the General Assembly in a few minutes. That the Palestinians, they developed an expertise to blame Israel for everything and to play the victims. But for 77 years, you have those exhibitions, you have those debates in the General Assembly, but where it goes, where it brings the Palestinian. I think they have to change that method, stop with those games, and if they really care about the future of the Palestinians, they should distinct themselves from Hamas. Mr. Mansour will speak shortly. I can tell you without reading his speech, not only he will not distinct himself from Hamas, he will not mention Hamas by word. So it is about time that they will actually acknowledge reality.
And the two-states resolution yesterday, will that promote the existence of two states?
Well, I think if anyone wants to see genuine peace, it should come, first when we will see that we have a partner that condemns terrorism, that educates for peace, and we proved that we are a peaceful nation. We signed peace treaties with 6 Arab nations, and we all, inshallah, hopefully, there will be more joining the Abraham Accords. But first, we need to see that the PA distincts itself from terrorism. Thank you very much.